Welcome to the Wealth Through Real Estate Investing Podcast, your source for real-world strategies focused on creating long-term wealth, cash flow, and financial freedom through real estate. Through guidance, tips, and stories of highly successful real estate investors and thought leaders, we provide you the tools to succeed and to reach the lifestyle you always wanted. And now, your host, Dwaine Clarke.
Hello and welcome to the Wealth Through Real Estate Investing Show. This is your host, Dwaine Clarke, and today we have Jorge Abreu. Jorge is a multifamily real estate investor and CEO of Elevate Commercial Investment Group. Jorge, thank you so much for joining us on the show, and how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, really appreciate it. I understand just kind of reading a little bit about your background, that you have a construction business. You kind of started out doing wholesaling, fixing, flipping, so you have a very diverse background. For the people who are not familiar with you, would you mind kind of talk about how you got started in real estate and what your current focus is?
Yeah, so about 15 years ago now, I was going to school for electrical engineering degree, and somewhere in that journey, I realized I didn't want to be an engineer, and I really wanted to own my own company. I wasn't quite sure what it was at that time. I started doing a lot of research and just looking at different successful individuals, and it kept leading back to real estate investing. So that's when I started diving into that world and getting myself educated. At the same time, I ended up graduating with my electrical engineering degree, started working at UPS in the engineering department, but at the same time, I started doing some single family real estate investing. Finally started getting a good consistent amount of deal flow, and decided to quit my W-2. So that was about 15 years ago. Started doing a lot of fix and flips, and really wanted to scale that. And one of the issues I ran into was finding good contractors, and that kind of became my bottleneck. So I decided to start my own construction company to scale the fix and flips. It was a success, and it worked. But then about 4 years ago, at that point I had been at it for about 11 years. I had been able to scale the single family. We're averaging maybe 45 homes a year on the fix and flips, and then another good chunk of wholesales. Started getting some small multifamily, under 4 units, or we had a couple eightplexes. But I hadn't really built that generational type wealth that I wanted. And it was more because I was going from one transaction to the next, and not really building up my net worth. So then I got introduced to multifamily syndications. I was actually a client of mine on the construction company, so I started taking other investor clients other than just our projects on the construction company. And one of my clients was a multifamily syndicator, and we were working on his renovations to his multifamily properties. And he explained it to me. Before that, I had no idea that you can bring these investors together and take down these large projects, large properties. So as soon as I found out about that, I became a little bit obsessed and started getting educated. And then started diving into it. At first, I was still doing the single family and trying to do the multifamily at the same time. At some point, I realized that, okay, if I really want to take this to the next level, I'm going to have to stop doing the single family and just go straight into multifamily 100%. Luckily, I had the construction company, and, I had money coming in on that side, because it is a little tough in the beginning in multifamily to, the money's not coming in till you really get the traction and start building it up. And that's where I'm at now. We're right under 2,000 units. We've got one closing, maybe two closing in January. That would put us over 2,000 units and looking to keep growing.
Awesome. Yeah, I really like that story because it kind of resonates with a lot of people there that are just always on that grind, especially if they're real estate professionals. You were doing the fix and flip and stuff, and if you don't do a deal, you don't get paid. So it's like, you're thinking
Right.
like, what is the next level? And I'm pretty sure I was like looking at you have, your family and everything. So you always got to think about what is like the next step, to kind of continue that route. And so for your current focus now, you have the 2,000 units. Is it where are you currently, where your units are, and then can you kind of talk about your local market there?
Yeah, so I'm in Dallas now. I actually started in South Florida, investing there first. I'm originally from there, but ended up moving to Dallas about 11 years ago. And I found myself obviously wanting to invest in my backyard at first with the multifamily, and the market was so hot, and I just felt like there was a lot of overpaying for some of these properties. I couldn't justify some of the price per unit, especially since my construction background and we've done new development and I know how much it costs to build. Um, so that's when I started expanding out, and I got put systems and processes in place to where we can go to a new market, and we can kind of build from there. So to answer your question is we've got properties throughout Texas. I do have one here in DFW, and I plan to continue to grow in Dallas. It's just harder to find a good deal. We've got a good chunk in Houston, and then we also own in Oklahoma, and then just closed one in South Dakota, and closing another one in January in South Dakota. Um, Looking in Georgia as well. So I mean, I'm pretty open as long as it's a landlord-friendly state
Hmm.
and the city has got good demographics, and if it meets our criteria there, then we're willing to invest and kind of grow that market.
And then your business model is more focused where you guys are the owner operators, or you guys also kind of working with other groups in certain different capacities, and then you kind of do construction part. Like, how do you kind of structure your company?
Yeah, so I mean, we're definitely open to partnering with other GPs, and right now we've got a co-GP pretty much on every deal, and we it's not like we just do one part of it. We're very diverse on how much of it we can handle. Meaning, like you said, we can come in and handle the capex, the due diligence. We can asset manage. We can raise equity. We sign on loans. So there's a lot we bring to the table. We kind of just, depending on the group, if they're bringing us a deal, then I kind of just analyze the team and see, okay, well, where can I fill the gaps? Where can I help? And then if we find a deal, then we're definitely doing much of everything and maybe just filling a couple gaps here and there.
Hmm. Even though with your experience and background and on the construction side and having the construction company, are you guys for your business model looking more kind of this cosmetical stuff where you can kind of get quickly leased up or fix managerial things, or you guys are open to doing like kind of large gut rehabs and large projects that some other sponsors wouldn't even touch?
Yeah, I mean that's always, even with the single family. Going back then, that was one of the things we leveraged was having the construction company and the fact that we're not scared to um, fix up a fire damaged property, or the uglier the better, pretty much. And that's where we started with multifamily. Doing serious repositions and heavy value add deals. We have transitioned a little bit, especially with COVID and bridge loans being a little more difficult. The terms are not as favorable as they were before. Uh, they have been coming back pretty strong, but so to answer the question, I think kind of both. I personally love the heavy value adds. I really like transforming a property, so that's definitely where my passion is at. But if we find a good deal that's just needs some cosmetics, and we know we can lower the expenses in some areas, and kind of be in and out, then sure, why not?
Hmm. Can you kind of take us through an example? I know because of the many deals that you guys have done, it's kind of like something that you guys took that completely transformed, like the increase the rent or significantly decrease the cost from sometime on the construction side.
Um, yeah, we can. So we did a 216 unit one in Oklahoma. It was being self managed. We came in, put in a property manager, third party, but with our asset management and kind of pushing our business plan, we've been able to really bring down the expenses and raise the other incomes. We also um, did a bunch of upgrades in the interior units and really made the exterior pop. So we've kind of changed we didn't rebrand it because it didn't have a horrible reputation. Um, so we did keep the name. But yeah, we're actually working on the refinance on that one. And we should be able to cash out and return all of our investors' capital back on the cash out within less than 2 years.
Nice, nice. Awesome. And this kind of shifting focus now, because I know can kind of following you. You've been slowly and kind of really building your brand, getting your name out there, and networking things like that, meetup groups and stuff like that. Can you talk to the people that are listening that are active investors that's looking to kind of duplicate your success in regards to kind of building a network, building a brand, and getting more self awareness out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's depending on your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to raise a lot of equity, get a lot of deals done, um, find others to partner with. I think if that's your goal, then it's a must. If you're just looking to kind of take down a few multifamily properties, maybe not that many partners, you won't have to raise that much equity. Then maybe the marketing and networking part isn't as important. But I knew I've got some large goals. I want to scale this. I want to, like I said, I'm 100% in on multifamily and growing this. So at that point, I knew I was going to have to really get my name out there, and really just document. What I try to do is document everything I'm doing. If I'm walking a property, I'm going to document. I'm going to say what I'm doing, what I'm looking for. If I'm analyzing deals, I'm going to do the same thing. So just a lot of documenting, getting it out there. Um, give. Try to add as much value as I can without really expecting anything in return. Um, I think that last part's important too. Not expecting something in return and kind of just giving. At some point you do have to put. I will say this. At some point you do have to put some barriers. um, and I've noticed that. As you grow and more people start reaching out. Um, I personally want to help everybody, but only so much time, right? I can
Exactly.
only do so much.
Absolutely.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think the brand is huge. I think it's easier than some people think. I'm a believer that it's better to just don't overthink it, get it out there. If you do a video of you analyzing a deal or whatever, walking a property, like I said, it doesn't have to be all pretty. It doesn't have to have video doesn't have to be edited. I mean, just get it out there.
Hmm. Absolutely. Can you kind of take us through your day? I know you looking at new deals, got the construction company, got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Can you kind of walk us through what's a typical work day for you, and do you have any special morning routines?
Yeah, so special morning routines for sure. I work out almost every single morning. I think the last 30 days I've missed maybe 2 days. Um, that's pretty crucial for me, at least to get me started on the right foot. Then I'm very strategic about how I plan my days out. I live and die by my calendar, my Google Calendar. Um, I use a lot of different softwares to be as efficient as I can. Um, we use. I've got Asana for tasks between our team. We use Slack for messaging between our team. Um, I use the Google Drive suite to pretty much work our emails and everything else, our cloud storage and collaboration. CRM is crucial, so we use Active Campaign. And then making sure all of those kind of speak to each other too, which was a little difficult at first, but I think we've got that down. Yeah. So, there's a lot that I didn't mention. Goals. I've got team meetings that are set every week at the same time, same day. It's really the only way. Like you said, I've got the construction company, the investment company, a couple other ventures. So without those meetings and everybody kind of reporting on their KPIs and just making sure everybody's aligned and kind of rowing in the same direction is very important. Um, and then I'm starting to kind of plug in journaling and kind of documenting my success and what I've done. That's one thing I've pinpointed that I've never been good at. I kind of complete a goal and I don't even blink. I just on to the next I need to get better at that.
Yeah, same here. And the reason why I ask these questions because it's like I kind of see what other successful people are doing, and I can see a lot of similarities as far as kind of structuring your day, setting up stuff for KPIs with the team, and journaling and working out, and just having like a nice morning routine. So it's really cool to hear you say that. So with all the success that you have done, all like the goals and everything, aspirations, what can you say that you're most grateful for?
Um, Man, a beautiful and healthy family. I mean, that's my why. That's why I do what I do. It's yeah, that's definitely the most grateful thing that I
Awesome.
have.
And then we'll make sure to have your information in the show notes and blast out for all of our social feeds and our newsletter. But is there any contact information you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly updating our website, which is elevatecig.com, stands for Commercial Investment Group, so elevatecig.com. Um, and then if your listeners want to go ahead and shoot me an email, so Jorge, Jorge, at elevatecig.com. I've got a bunch of free content I can send them, due diligence checklist. I've got questions to ask deal sponsors before investing, a couple other things I can send their way.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure to include all of that. I'll encourage everyone to reach out, ask any questions, and just get some information so you'll be more well informed, as a passive investor or work with a group like yours. Jorge, it was a pleasure having you on. I really appreciate it. All best to you and your company and your family, and look forward to connecting with again soon.
Same to you, man. Thank you.
All right, take care, my friend.